Okay, let's quickly get to the business of the day. I am so delighted that that I'm able to make this video this morning, and I want to say good morning and good afternoon and good evening to all of you, wherever you're watching from. You know, today's Wednesday, the 29th day in the month of July 2026. Okay, and wherever you're watching from around the world, I want to say thank you for spending part of your morning with me, and thank you for deciding to want to watch this video. Now, see, we all have a choice, and I know you've got a choice to make. You could be watching another trading video, or you may be checking charts, okay, because this video is exclusively for Forex, crypto, financial trader, in general. So you could be doing anything that you're doing on the social media. I want to just, genuinely appreciate you once again for choosing to spend time, with BeaconFX.trade. Now, before I go straight into, or before we talk about currencies, or maybe gold or Bitcoin, I want to quickly, say something about, and that is something, when I mean something, it's something that means a lot to us here at BeaconFX.trade, and also means a whole lottest, if there are words like that. So, I want to tell you something about what we did yesterday, and I'm going to be very honest with you, and I'll try as much as possible, you know, not to sit here and give you a technical breakdown, because that's not what you need, okay? Because frankly, that's not what this is about. Now, this is a live stream, okay? So I'm going to be very gentle and I'm going to take my time. So what this is about is what it means for you, okay, as a trader. Now, most trading platforms, or most platforms, if I will put it in general like that, how most platforms work. You could go to their website or go to their app, you check the analysis. Maybe it was updated an hour ago. That used to be us too, okay? Maybe it could be 2 hours ago, it could be this morning, and you just work with whatever that is there on the application or on the platform. The simple thing, or the simple truth, is that what we thought about is that you are simply or basically eating yesterday's food, okay? And if by so doing in Forex, yesterday's food seriously can get you knocked down or knocked out of the financial market or drain your capital, okay? But we said to ourselves that we don't want to do that anymore, or we don't want to be seen like that. So what we did yesterday, and again, I'm not going to go deep into the technical side, like I said, but what we did yesterday essentially gave Beacon FX a heartbeat, like a living, breathing thing that is constantly aware of what is happening in the market. Like I said, I'm going to be very quiet. I'm very gentle, so that you can understand. Not checking what we did is, it doesn't check, every few hours. It is always aware and always in real time. That's what we did. I'm going to explain it. Now, here's what this means practically. The moment, and I mean the moment something significant happens in the market, in the financial market, whether that's an economic release, whether that's a news event, whether that's maybe a shift in how the entire market is behaving, the system, which when I say the system, the market intelligence 4.0 feels it and it responds immediately. Okay, so there is no delay, no waiting for the next scheduled update. It just moves. And then this is the part that I really want you to hear. It tells you if you are a subscriber on this platform, your phone is going to notify you. All right, your dashboard also is going to notify you. Even your Telegram is going to light up. All right, and the message you are going to receive is not going to be some vague market updates notification that you swipe away. It is going to tell you what changed, what the market is doing right now, and what you should be looking at. Very clean and very simple. In fact, very, very actionable. Okay, now, because that's the whole point, isn't it? You didn't subscribe to BeaconFX to read essays. You subscribe because you want to know right now, is this a buying market or a selling market? What pairs are moving? What or where is the opportunity? And now the platform tells you, the market intelligence, most especially the market pulse, tells you that the moment it knows, not when it gets around to it. Okay, please take note of that. Now the moment it knows, I always say that BeaconFX is not just a website. I can boastfully say that. And yesterday we proved that again. You can imagine a retail trading web application or a web project that one that you never may have seen its type anywhere in the entire African space, or in the entire, like, let's say if there are three of this in the world, BeaconFX will be one of it. Or if there are two, BeaconFX will be one. And maybe this is just the only one we have out there for retail trading. Okay, now, because, see, I said we proved that because a website just sits there. You go, you see, okay, this website belongs to this person, this website or that website belongs to that person. But what we built, what we are continuing to build, is something that works for you, even when you are not looking at it. Okay, so even when you are sleeping, that's very important. Even when you are very, very busy, it's watching, and when it sees something, it comes and finds you. That's the level we are right now. So if you have been on the fence about maybe, oh, let me subscribe, or let me, please just subscribe to BeaconFX Market Pulse and use that with whatever you know already. Yes, use that with whatever you know already. And if you maybe you still want to take our signals, you can also subscribe with that with BeaconFX Market Pulse or Market Intelligence as a whole. So if you have been watching, like I said, from outside, wondering whether the platform is worth it, see, I want you to think about it, or think about what I have just described. Real-time intelligence. 3 words: real-time intelligence. So you get instant alert, and the system never sleeps. So my point here is, I'm soon going to the market to do some analysis, but ask yourself, what is that worth to a serious trader? This thing that I've explained, what does it worth to a serious trader? Because I'll tell you what it's worth to me. It is the difference between reaching to the market and being ready for the market. And that difference is this business, or that in this, that difference is everything to me. So seriously, we are just getting started. Now let me quickly go to the market to show you what most of us, this is actually what we did, right? If there is nothing, we actually had 5 triggers. In fact, it is 6, but the 6, overrides um the remaining 5. So I will always call it 5 triggers. So if there is nothing, the system will still, one way or the other, after maybe 4 to 6 hours, okay, still finds something very relevant about the market and still update you that this is why the market is sleeping. This is why the market is quiet. But the first, the second, the fourth, the third, the fourth triggers sees the market immediately, and immediately they trigger you with relevant information. All right. Now that is that about that. I'll take you straight to what we really want to do today, and that is analyzing the market and see where the opportunities lie. Okay, where the opportunities are. Now, if you're joining for the first time, this is BeaconFX.trade, and here at BeaconFX, we have one simple goal. Okay, there's one simple thing we do here. It's just to make the market easier to understand. Seriously, not noisier, because the market has been so very noisy. Yeah, very, very noisy. Market is always noisy. So we are not here to make it more complicated, but 3 words, easier, to understand. Now, like I said, if you're watching this video with us, you're welcome from wherever you're watching from. Let's talk about something more important, or other important stuffs. Now, if I may ask, have you ever, opened a chart or your trading platform, and just looking at the chart, maybe after a few, minutes, you begin to like wonder, there's nothing here, and maybe you just close everything, not because there were no opportunities, but maybe because you honestly didn't know what the market was trying to tell you. That's the purpose why we created BeaconFX.trade, seriously, and also most importantly, the market intelligence. Okay, now it has happened to me before, and if that has happened to you, like I always say, see, you're not alone. Honestly, you're not alone. You're not alone. In fact, that's one of the biggest reasons, like I said just now, why BeaconFX.trade web application exists. Okay, so here is what we are going to do this morning. We are going to, I wouldn't want us to rush into buying or selling anything. Okay, that's why I just wanted to, like, okay, maybe every day, if time permits, we will be spending a little time to understand what is really happening in the financial market, and we will think of it as, let me digress a bit, think of it as maybe reading the weather before leaving the house. So if you read the weather to know maybe, oh, is it going to rain, or before I leave the house, Do I need an umbrella? Do I need for a cold? If the weather is cold, do I need a jacket? Do I need a sweater? Do I need a cardigan? If it is sunny, do I dress differently? You know, that's the market works in the same way. Okay, because before you make a trading decision, you need to first understand today's weather. I hope you understand how, I mean, me putting it in that statement in that way, you understand it like that. You know, uh, uh, that is how you transist into the market pause. That is how you go into the market pause. So we will go there right away so that we can explain one or two things. I've taken time and I really wanted to be deliberate about it. Okay. Yes. Now, I'm going to be giving you the few knowledge or the few ideas that I feel about this page that you're looking at. Okay. And the first thing that catches my eye, today when I open this is the US dollar. Okay. The first thing that catches my eyes when I open here is the US dollar. What do I mean? It is showing stronger, you know, uh, than some of the other major currencies. Okay. And not really stronger. Okay. Don't worry about the exact, numbers that you might see or text that you might see here just yet. Okay. The important question is trying to tell us. Okay. What story are all of this information that we see here, trying to tell us? Yesterday it was not strong because um the there was a news that happened yesterday that made the US dollar, the CB consumer confidence that came out negative. Okay, it made this currency became a little weak. Okay, and this is it. It made it a little weak yesterday, but I think it's picking up momentum. Okay, it's picking up momentum. So, like I said, don't worry about um the exact numbers just yet. The story here is, what are this all of this trying to tell us? All right. So to me, the market is saying that money is flowing towards, one particular area more than towards, another. I mean, more than other currencies. Okay. And if you are looking at the chart, the point is how many of you are trading. If you're a forex trader, definitely this analysis that I want to make should be for you. So what we are trying to do right now is, let's quickly go to the chart to analyze. Like I'm saying, it is not that we don't know what we want to do. Every time when we wake up, every time when we sit on the front of the desk, the point is, what is the market saying? Okay, this is what I always tell people. What is the market saying? So now the market is navigating. I'm not reading everything. It's navigating, a complex environment where, deflationary signals, particularly from Australia CPI miss, that's the recent news, are challenging the prevailing inflation narrative. Now, if you look at here, means AUD is bearish. The system is going to tell you immediately. If you look at this, AUD is bearish, right? Let's go look at it on the chart. AUD USD, where you at? Now you see, that is AUD USD. Time is ticking, the countdown timer. All right, now this is where it happened. and it also is dropping. Why? Australian dollar is weak and the US dollar is strong. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really that strong. Okay. So let me not give you that hope. We can also still look at other currencies. How about Euro USD? Okay. All right. Nothing much. Nothing much. And every other AUD, how about AUD JPY? All right. It happened too. It happened and it still possibly may be happening. That AUD is weak, JPY is strong. Okay. Now, the other thing is I also always not just read what's happening here, okay, as a market pulse student or a market intelligence student, I always do also go to the access trend too. Okay, AUD is very strong. Okay, has a 40% confidence or rating, so to say. Yeah, 40% confidence. And let's look at the other. I'm still gonna go to the trade bias though. Now look at the USD. Okay, yeah, that's the US dollar. And if you click here, you're going to see why it is like this. Okay, now if we go to the trade bias, now you can also see AUD USD, even Euro AUD. I didn't even talk about that. I didn't even look at that. Okay, let's quickly look at Euro AUD. Euro AUD, where you at? Now you see, this was the news around here, and price did a correction, and now it's focusing back to the north. Okay, focusing back to being bullish. The bias is back to being bullish after this pullback, after this retracement. All right, so that's it. Then let's continue to look at what we have. Euro AUD, GBP AUD is the same thing. Ethereum USD, is it selling?